Race fans, welcome to Iowa Speedway. Located about 30 miles east of Des Moines, in the absolute middle of nowhere, lies the historic racetrack designed by NASCAR's very own Rusty Wallace. This 7/8 of a mile D-shaped oval is a driver favorite that many race fans argue should be still on the NASCAR calendar today. I am Reese Schaefer, alongside my colleague Adam Fleeker, aka the One-Eyed Wonder. And we are here in the virtual booth tonight, and we're excited to bring you live coverage of the Speed Racing Network Z Grill Series on the iRacing.com motorsports simulator platform. This slick short track will push all of our Z Grills drivers to the limits tonight, and I am excited to see what all 185 laps have in store. Adam, welcome to Speed Racing Network. I know it's your first time here broadcasting the series. You want to tell the folks back at home about yourself and how you got the nickname the One-Eyed Wonder?
Well, I'm one-eyed wonder because I'm blind on my left side. They have a hot dog laying next to me. His name's Isaac. But yeah, first night here with SRN, I believe is the rules, if I got it right.
Yep. Yep,
And it's a joy to be here. I'm an upcoming producer for everything, and really enjoy what I do. It gives me something to look forward to as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it should be, it's really cool. Your boy Isaac's hanging out with you. That's awesome, the dog. So this should be a pretty awesome. Adam, this track tonight, it's gonna be a really good one. Iowa, like I said, driver favorite, slick track, multi-groove. I'm really excited. Looking forward to see, how these drivers, do. We're just past the halfway point here. I believe this is round 8 of the season here, kind of the halfway point, just past in the regular season. So looks like our starting grid's going here, Adam, and I'll take it away. We got Sean Powell, Mr. Powell, I should say, because he has got 4 poles tonight. 4 poles in the season, rather. John the Buyer, who we just talked to, starting P2. Logan Truitt, P3. Adrian Schumacher, the Road Course King, is P4, along with his teammate Seth Berger in P5. We got Phase 2 Chassis Works Tyler Justice in P6, along with his colleague Dustin Montgomery, we know he's fast. We're going to watch out for him tonight in P7. Blake Hensley, P8. Brandon Burkhart, P9. And we got Scotty Reinschild working P10. Scott Claus, P11. Max Service, P12. Paul Bliss, P13. Bobby Essen, P14. David Robson, P15. Gabriel Olson, 16th. Nathan Elrose, 17th. Vincent Cortez, 18th. And Jim L. Harrison, 19th. As the pace car rolls away here, Adam, like we said, 185 laps tonight. Should be a respectfully clean race. I've looked in the history of the Z-Grill cars here at Iowa, and they've had in previous races 5 and 2 cautions, so relatively clean series at this respective track. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of strategies we got going on, especially with that stage caution at lap 50. We're gonna have 2 pace laps here tonight before we get her going, so it should be a fantastic race.
So with me being new to the series, we only have one stage break, and NASCAR has 2.
Yeah, we there's one stage yellow, and that's true through all 3 series. Obviously depending on the lap count, it changes per race, but the stage caution definitely big strategy-wise, but not only that, but points-wise, because the top 10 gets points, with obviously P1 getting 10 and P10 getting 1 point, and so following in that order. So it definitely can help a lot of drivers, especially come in playoff time, because the first round, all the stage points count as bonus points, and all those bonus points can transfer over to the first round, so you get a big boost at the first round of the playoffs. So a lot of guys looking to get stage points, and a lot of guys are going to be excited to try to stay up there and hopefully get a win here tonight.
I know before the broadcast started live here, I know you were telling me there's a couple drivers that we should try on. I think one of them you said was number 12.
Yeah, Dustin Montgomery. He's a fast guy. Before we get to the iRacing.com safety car pulls off, and Sean Powell is going to be green here at Iowa. Powell getting a good run into turn 1 and 2 as the field follows in behind him. We got Jonathan Biger, Lower Truitt side by side.
Well, we got one spinning.
I got spinning 35 car. I think we got the 35 car going around there all by himself. So we'll go back and look at that. You know, we talked about it being loose here on the bottom lane. Looks like that was Truitt there.
Logan, that Toyota 35 car.
Yeah. Those cold tires, Adam, get really loose, and he's get Adam, you mind refreshing your trading paints, buddy? I know some of the paint schemes look a little different out there. I don't know if you can do that for me. But yeah, that 35 car, like we talked about, very slick track out here. It's going to catch a lot of drivers off guard, and it brings out the first yellow tonight. Yes, absolutely. We'll be right back after this. Yeah, if you just want to, all right, welcome back here to Speed Racing Network. As we're just finishing up that last wreck there, Logan True, once again, just spinning, luckily no contact, so gonna be clean here for the next 180 some laps, and with a short field size tonight, rather, should be no problem getting back up there for him, so that worked out well for him. I believe we got just coming to the end of, I think we're going to be hitting one to green here very shortly. I'm sure to see the drivers starting to stack up. Talked about, Sean Powell. This is Mr. Poleman. He has, I believe this is the 8th race of the series, and he has 4 poles now on the season, so definitely knows how to sling it around the track quickly for one lap, that is for sure. And those poles, Adam, they actually go a long way. They, I believe they count for 3 bonus points. And so, should be, there we go, there's the paint scheme's beautiful one machine of Sean Powell. So, yeah, those bonus points, like we talked about, are going to go a long way for points-wise and the playoff-wise. So, definitely, if you're Sean Powell, getting these poles, definitely a pretty big advantage going into the rest of the regular season.
What you were saying was it was wrecker we saw with the 35 Logan, but getting loose there in the corner 3. Early in this race, the throttle is going to play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Speaking from my experience, last night I was in the truck series, the glitch truck series, and about every restart on those fresh tires, it honestly took about 2 whole laps to really get the tires warm, really get movement going. The grip and the grip levels rise up. So, and as we saw right there, Logan True, he probably wasn't even fully on the throttle, and that thing just snapped around on him. So, definitely, luckily for him, like we said, no damage. And honestly, it's probably a good wake-up call for most drivers out here tonight. Be like, all right, take it easy the first couple laps, try to get the heat in those tires, and really set the pace. Adam, as we round out of turn 4 here, I think the iRacing.com safety car is going to plunge to the pit lane, and Sean Powell is going to take the field back to green flag here at Iowa.
It looks like Jonathan Biger or Sean Powell got a great restart. At 0 of, I think that's the
Schumacher up there, yeah, Adrian Schumacher in the number 0 up top there. Getting that big run on the high side as they enter 1 and 2. We see Jonathan Bider there at the bottom, trying to work that bottom lane. Remember we talked about cold tires, gotta be nice and easy here. And as looks like, gonna be taking 3 wide there with Seth Berger as they enter turn 1. Ooh, JB gets squeezed out. Yeah, stay down there. Good save from all of them. Berger and Hensley now battle it out for the 4th and 5th position, rather.
Thing looks calm up front as we look further back, though. That seems to be where the the hornet's nest just.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we see Dustin Montgomery leading the charge with the 85 Paul Bliss right behind him, and just 2x2 all the way back through 1 and 2 as they come out onto the backstretch. Those tires still just getting up to temperature here, and so we're gonna see a lot of cars still sliding and moving around as Jonathan Byther rings it around the top side there. See JB trying to hold it on the outside there of Montgomery. See Bliss sliding up in front of the 32 of Scott Kalal, a long-time SRN member. I believe it's one of probably his 4th or 5th season, and this year's maybe even longer. And here's the Paul Bliss making a move on Jonathan Byther. Sliding her down there into turn 1 and 2. Still side by side with JB. JB getting that big run down the backstretch, be able to clear Paul Bliss. JB holding on for 8th place. Meanwhile, though, up front, we got Schumacher just about a half a second there behind Sean Powell. As Powell's slowly, just buying his time as laps are ticking down to about, just under 40 to go here for the stage. A little bit further back, we got Seth Berger, who's got a nice growing lead on his teammate Max Service, who's currently getting hunted down by guess who? Dustin Montgomery in the number 12 machine. Like we said, Adam, this guy won a lot of races this season already. A very fast car. We're going to see him and talk about him a lot today.
Looks like he's just behind his time right there behind the 81 of Max Service. Waiting for his time to strike, really.
Yeah, like I said, it's still early in this race, and as we talk about just then, there goes Montgomery. Getting that higher on the high side, Service at the bottom, as they enter 1 and 2 side by side. Looks like Montgomery is going to slide in front, as now Paul Bliss taking advantage and trying to slide abreast Max Service there.
Now, with this track of Iowa, is the high line better or is the bottom lane? I know you spoke about it being a multi-lane racetrack, and that's why I was just curious which lane is better.
Yeah, I would say passing wise, the high lane's better, but lap time wise and the bottom lane is king. It's one of those tracks that really, I would say temperature wise and just driver preference really comes down to what lane is better and which one you feel more comfortable with. So it's like I said, that's why it's a driver's favorite, because it can kind of suit every driver's needs. If you're a guy that likes to run up near the wall, you can do it. And if you're a guy that likes to ride the white line at the bottom, you can do that as well. So
now, as the night goes on here, farther into the night, will you see drivers go from the bottom and work their way to the top, or do you think one group?
They have potential to stay in one groove. I wouldn't be shocked if we start seeing drivers go towards the more middle lane. One thing with Iowa here, Adam, is it's very, very bumpy, and especially 1 and 2, there's multiple bumps, and we can see even here Jonathan Byther bouncing, up and down as they enter the bottom lane there, and with all these bumps around the racetrack, we're gonna see guys trying to find the smooth part, trying to find those areas where they are able to get the power down and not have to deal with those bumps, freeing the car up, and we're going to see a lot of guys just trying to find areas that work for them. And as we speak about that, we see Jonathan Byther going around Max Service there on the high line, and that smoother middle line there, reigning king. And it's still side by side as they come through 3 and 4.
And that number 12 that you were talking about, he's slowly working his way to the front. He's now working on Seth Berger there for 5th place.
Yeah, Dustin Montgomery, Seth, prevailing on that high side. These two have been battling for a couple laps here. Seth trying to get that big run off the top lane. As we look further back up, Adrian Schumacher still holding about a 6/10 gap behind Powell, with Tyler Justice slowly creeping in behind him. Tyler Justice, another big name here, Adam. He's had a nice win last week at Charlotte, and is a guy that's used to finishing in the top 5, having a lot of second places this season, and been a really, really strong race car all year, to be honest. So looking forward to seeing how his race turns out up here in the P3. Just kind of like you said, same with Montgomery, just buying his time, taking it nice and easy early. Still a lot of race left.
That's just it. With these long races like tonight with 185 laps as a total distance, it's easier. It's better for a driver to take their time and kind of let the car come to them rather than trying to push too early.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we talked about, you know, this ever-changing racetrack with the multi-grooves, you know. I always feel that, you know, the lines almost, as the race goes on, they evolve. Like, you'll find areas of the track that early in the race you didn't really feel comfortable with, and then all of a sudden you kind of try it out for a couple laps and it feels great. And so we're gonna see a lot of guys bounce around and just like you said, let the car come to them, let the track develop, and see what areas of the track they can really take advantage of and make some moves.
And I'm glad you're able to give some insight because I don't run too much asphalt. I'm more of a dirt track, full throttle, let it slide through the corner kind of thing, and you can't quite do that on asphalt.
No, you know, it's these cars are sliding is usually a recipe for disaster after a couple laps because the tires start to go out, and then all of a sudden you're really starting to, you know, you're hanging on for dear life most of the time. And you know, as we see here, Tyler Justice looks like he's thinking about making a move on Adrian Schumacher there, getting it up to his bumper, coming on turn 4. Further back.
A lot of single lane racing going on at the moment. There's just a couple battles going on, like we're seeing 23 and the 99 of Pez and Buddy Reinshield.
Yep. Yeah, those two battling out here for 12th, 13th position, you know, and though it may seem like they're far ways back, there's a cluster of cars in front of them. So you wonder if these guys are, all these guys back here, like you said, just trying to buy their time, figure out the track. I mean, we still got, you know, plenty of race left here, and you know, trying to find the lanes that work for them. There we go. No worries. Let's head back up front here. We got Adrian Schumacher still holding off Tyler Justice. You know, Adrian Adam is more of a road course guy. We've seen him in recent weeks starting to get really quick at these ovals, but he is one of the main road course guys that really thrives at those kind of tracks. And as we look a little further back here, got Dustin Montgomery still working his way up to the field, sizing up Blake Hensley as they enter turn 1. Montgomery sends it low. Hensley trying to rip around the high side, get that big run, but Montgomery looks like he's going to prevail on the bottom as they enter 3 and 4. We'll see if Montgomery sends it up there or Hensley tries to fend him off. Like Montgomery's going to be clear coming on turn 4. That's up to P4 from Montgomery. And we see him now about 3 1/4 seconds behind the leader, so we'll see if that gap closes any further. A little bit of ways back here, we got Max Service, who's, you know, we saw lose a couple positions early, but you know, still hanging out in that P10 spot, trying to find, you know, trying to get the car come to him, trying to get a nice feel for it. As we're just over about almost with 20 laps to go here in the stage, it's about 21 now, 22 rather, and so wonder if we'll start seeing guys at him start making moves. You know, those have been laying back a little bit. See if they start making their way up to the front, trying to get some stage points before the end of this thing.
I know one driver, he struggled at the beginning with a 35 of Logan Pruitt. In there in that black Toyota. Seems to be still struggling getting that car to come to him.
Yeah, you know, one thing, Adam, to note is we only have, I believe they have 5, yeah, the 5 tire sets, only 4 in the pits. So you wonder if Pruitt, you know, with that lap 1 spin, maybe, you know, he didn't come down. I don't know, looking back at that, if he came down pit road or not. So maybe, you know, he's still on those kind of scuffed up tires, and maybe they're just not as ideal as you'd like. You know, you're just hoping they wouldn't be too hurt. But looking right now, you know, sitting there in P14, looks like those tires are still slightly, you know, worsened because of that spin. But like I said, though, that's why the stage caution is very crucial here. And you know, Speed Racing Network. You know, if you're getting caught up early, you can have a really good opportunity of coming back and making things happen in the second half of the race.
We see the battle going on there, but one of Mac's service, Gabrielle Ellison.
Yeah, Ellison hanging out. Ellison taking a really big line up there in almost the third lane towards near the wall, and Max hanging down the white line. Let's see Ellison get that big run off the corner and almost clear Max service once again. This cluster of cars right here, Adam, all in a single line. I wonder if we're gonna really start seeing a lot more guys make moves here with the stage winding down. See if they can get a couple extra stage points before this thing's over.
You can generally see, especially with a good drivers like they start to get a little bit more aggressive with 10 more to go in the stage. Try to get those stages. See that.
Yeah, absolutely. See Ellison making the pass on service there, and up front here we got Hensley just holding his own here, out in front of Seth and the others behind.
Up front, we don't really have too much in the way of battles. Is there probably a second between first three up to position for it, and then you got 3 seconds for Justin Montgomery. He's still about 4 seconds off, but closing on leaders.
Yeah, that traffic, not say hindering, but definitely not helping Montgomery's tires. But still, though, still making good momentum up front. And as we see here, kind of out in no man's land. Adam, just kind of like this racetrack, out in the middle of nowhere, out in the cornfields. That's what kind of Montgomery's out here, just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, just kind of doing his own thing, just trying to buy his time, see if he can get up there and get maybe one more extra stage point before we, everything ticks off here on lap 50.
And he's sitting comfortably fourth at the moment. We have Blake Hensley and Seth Berger at 56.
And Hensley, Seth, a couple guys that, we've seen around, top 5, top 10 all year here at Speed Racing Network. And as, things follow suit here at Iowa, the two of them running 5th and 6th, just trying to, try to find themselves, find those cars, and try to get a good stage finish here. As we look a little further back, we got Max starting to make his way back up here. Trying to make a little move on Jonathan Byer, trying to rip that bottom lane, see if it can really start sticking.
Max Service really trying hard to get back into the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, Adam, those stage points are really crucial, especially come playoff time and even all regular season long. So, yeah, even one can do wonders. Just 1 point. So I think Max is trying all he can here to get past JB and get back into that top 10. Jonathan Byers still holding strong, and now here looks like we got Gabriel Ellison trying to get into the mix of that battle. As we look a little further up front, not Montgomery still, slowly picking his way, maybe kind of almost staying even with the front pack here. It's about 10 to go. Let's look further back here, back to this battle. Max Service, trying to hold on the bottom, just wasn't able to do it there. Gonna fall back to P12, and as we see here, 35 Truitt lying down in a ranch hill.
Logan Truitt, he's totally trying to his work come back up through the.
Yeah, you wonder if Truitt, with like we said that spin earlier, if he maybe tried to sit in the back a little bit, try to save his tires to maybe equalize out with the others in the pack, and see if he can maybe, like we said later in the stage here, or near the stage break here, trying to gain all he can to get back up there, as he completes the pass on Reinscheld there for P13. Further up front, things are starting to get heated up here. We got JB and Ellison still working, while up front here, the 5 between Hensley and looks like Paul, Bliss, and Cortez there. These 5 cars almost under a blanket here, Adam. About a car length between the piece of them.
Yeah, almost under the blanket. They are close. It's whether or not where they finish, hard to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one throttle too early and one brake too late. Could be all the advantage that the driver behind needs. As we see, Vincent Cortez trying to look under Paul Bliss there. And, further up in this little pack, we see Seth Berger trying as much as he can to get around Blake Hensley there. Looking at the bottom, trying to get that side draft working as they come out down the front stretch.
We've seen some drivers be able to get that bottom to work, others getting that middle lane to work for these passes going around these corners. Definitely seeing different drivers be that momentum work better for them. Areas.
And we got a spinner in the back there. Vincent Cortez, Paul Bliss make contact out of turn 2. Oh, shoot. No yellow yet, Adam. With a stay green here. Might have to come back to this one. This replay during the during the stage break. Not sure if there's too much damage on those two cars. So we look further back up, but Max Server still making moves. Adam still slowly trying to work his way back up into the pack here, trying to get the stage points. But actually currently sitting P10 now, since those two spinners.
Logan Truitt, he's now up to cracked into the top 10.
Yeah, there you go. We talked about, just saving your stuff early and trying to go for late. As we see here now, diving in on Jonathan Byer for the 9th position. Truitt making his way back up there. Look at that. What a good recovery here for the first 50 laps for Logan Truitt. Been in early, but, having no fear. Just taking what he can and getting us back into the top 10. As we see here, Seth Berger finally trying to make his move around Blake Hensley. Sitting just as corner there as they enter turn 3 and 4. Hensley using the top line to really get the run off, with Berger kind of trying to cut down in the corner, use the diamond effect almost to try to get that big run off the corner as they enter 1 and 2 here. And looks like Hensley's still defending strong here on the top lane, Adam.
So pretty grouped together here as Hensley Berger are battling side by side going turn 3. Now we got behind him, that's Gabriel Ellison and 46 David Robertson.
Yeah. As you see the 4 of them, here being the final lap of the stage. Got Seth Berger looking underneath Hensley. We're going to see who can get into the top 5 here for the stage. Could be a little drag race to the line as Sean Powell is your stage winner. Beyond Adrian Schumacher, Tyler Justice, Justin Montgomery, and looks like Seth Berger is going to get P5 on the stage. Wow, what a good 50-lap run there, Adam. A lot of passing, little bit of chaos. I don't know if we have time real quick. We can go back and look at that wreck between Vincent Cortez and
Definitely go back and look at it. It was Paul Bliss and
Paul Bliss, yep.
Exactly else was him.
Yeah, Paul Bliss and Vincent Cortez, I believe. And go back here. Looks like coming off turn 2 here. Paul Bliss Cortez fighting for the stage. Paul Bliss a little loose, and just barely clipped him. Cortez in the wall, and oh man. Hopefully not too much damage for the 2 of them, but man, like we talked about, Adam, these tires are really squirrely, and tough break there for both Paul Bliss and Vincent Cortez. But luckily, both not out of the race. A lot of race left here with only 130 some to go, and it's gonna be
everybody come to pit road this time.
Yeah, absolutely. We, like we said, not too many tire sets here tonight, so we're gonna see a lot of guys. I say a lot of guys, and I mean the whole field coming into pit road here, Adam. 4 tires of fuel here. This pit road very interesting here, Adam. We have a rule here in SRN. You can't drive through more than 2 or 3. I think 3 boxes. So we're gonna see a lot of guys right there cutting in. I see Schumacher really cutting it in there. Oh, gonna have to readjust here. Oh no, gonna lose some spots there, but really wonky pit road, and like we just talked about, gonna catch a lot of guys out. As we see brace off pit road, looks like we got Powell leading it off, and Tyler Justice P2. Well, Adam, before we go green here, one thing we do in Speed Racing Network is we talk to the stage winner, Sean Powell. So I'm gonna go out here in the Discord, and if he is around, we will talk to him certainly. Don't know if don't believe he's in Discord currently, but that's all right. We can you know, if I happen to see him, I'll pull him up here. But other than that, got the first stage done, Adam, and I think it might be time for a quick commercial break.
Hey, we'll be back after this.
Alrighty, welcome back to the virtual Iowa Speedway here on the iRacing.com service. Hi, I'm Reece Shaver, joined by Adam Flinger in the virtual booth here at Speed Racing Network. Adam, we got 55 laps here complete tonight. A lot of passing, a lot of good battles out here tonight, and things are only going to heat up after the stage caution.
Yeah, I'm thinking it should heat up.
Adam, one thing I'm really curious here about, Iowa is the different strategies we're going to see. As we come back here, looks like the iRacing.com safety car is going to enter the pit road, and we are green here back at Iowa.
Got green. On Powell still out front. He's in charge. Dustin Montgomery, though, just like you said at the beginning, pretty quickly they're in third position.
Yeah, with Adrian having that pit road mishap here, now we got Sean Powell, Tyler Childress, Dustin Montgomery, the three teammates up here leading the charge. And like we talked about earlier, Dustin Montgomery, man, he has been electric all season long, and we see him continue to move up as we look a little further back. Got a lot of battles going on here. We've got Hensley and Ellison currently side by side. Maybe not make that Max Service and Ellison now as they enter 1 and 2. Man, look at those cars just rip out around the high side there, Adam. Just, man, really, even though it's a short track, man, these guys are moving around here, huh?
They definitely are. Sometimes cameras don't do justice of how quickly drivers actually are moving around the track.
Yeah, no kidding. As we catch back up front, got Tyler Justice about a 3/10 gap behind his teammate Sean Powell in the lead, who's been dominant all race tonight. Just behind him, we got Montgomery, we got Robinson, Ellison, Service, all these guys kind of single file, Adam, we were in, unlike back here, we got a little side by side, but we were talking about, we're going to see a lot of guys trying to buy their time. Maybe we're going to see a lot of different strategies play out here the rest of the race.
I think they realize that they can't throttle right off the start, as all these drivers now have a fresh set of Goodyears on the car. Don't want to end up like Pruitt did there at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super loose, and like I said, it's very slick on those early tires. And as we see here, though, Adam, we got looks like I believe that's JB and them battling back here. Yeah, Jonathan Byer and Scott Kalal, Nathan De La Rosa, all these guys, Truitt, Schumacher, Brandon Burkhardt, all these guys trying to fight their way back up towards the front.
They're all trying to just buy their time, get up to the.
Yeah, it's I see a lot of guys just like I said, we can see Max Service slowly working his way back up there. We got Here we got Hensley and those guys kind of single file. Looks like we got Hensley looking the inside of, I believe that's Scotty Reinschel there. Then looks like he couldn't complete the pass there, but right behind him we got Bobby Anderson, P9, P10. Got good old Scott Kalal. A lot of these guys just slowly working their way, trying to get the tires in order, trying to feel out the track. And like we said, Adam, I believe the temperature here has dropped 3 or 4 degrees track temp wise, and so we're probably going to start seeing the track hard change. We're going to see some guys start moving around.
I think you're going to see guys move around regardless, trying to find that line of all of the muster. Short track racing, a lot of it does seem to come based.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why early in these runs we're seeing that highlight ring king, getting that big run out of the corner and getting that big momentum down the straightaway and being able to hold off positions and even pass people.
As we're seeing the 11 of Bobby Anderson trying to get that outside run currently on that 31 of Blake Hensley.
Yeah, Hensley finished, what was it, I believe 6th here in the stage, currently P9, maybe, one of those guys that's ripping the bottom lane, just trying to feel it out. And Bobby Anderson, I haven't really talked about him too much tonight. Adam, here he is, slowly working his way up there. Moving, just creeping inside the top 8 now.
Another name that we haven't talked about too much is Scott there in the 32 car.
Yeah, Scott Claw, like I was saying earlier, Adam, Scott Claw is, man, he's been around Speed Racing Network here for a long, long time, and a great name, one of the great guys. But I believe, Adam, we got a battle going on up front. Going on here with Tyler Justice, and guess who? Oh, Dustin Montgomery. 2 of them. Looks like they're running, looks like different lanes here, but I believe Montgomery's been kind of peeking it, lap after lap, trying to see if he can find any fresh air or any spots he can try to get a run on Powell or Justice there.
Hey, looking for precious momentum. See if he can get momentum, more momentum to build up Tyler Justice.
Yeah, and absolutely, these cars so momentum based, so tire based. This track really driver's preference. It's honestly, Adam, one of the more fun tracks here on iRacing of the entire service. And honestly, I think if you went around here and asked a lot of the guys around here tonight, they'll say it's one of their top tracks. Looks like Montgomery's still, Adam, trying to make that move work. Oh, a little swirly out there coming down turn 2, but look at the top 3 now, Adam, just under a blanket here.
Oh yeah, top 3 definitely under, trying to battle one another, but they don't want to battle each other too hard, as I think they're all teammates at the paint.
Yeah, absolutely. Phase 2 Chassis Works. These 3 are under the same team here. There's the 3 of them starting to build a good gap to the field out behind. Almost a second now between Montgomery and David Robinson.
As David Robertson got a front row seat, so all this battling going on for that top 3.
Yeah, and Adam, we were talking about all this battling. You wonder if David Robinson almost kind of getting excited to see these guys battle up front. Wearing up their stuff. Maybe I wonder if we'll start seeing him slowly work his way up to these guys as they continue to battle up front.
That's what David's going to hope for, is to have the drivers battle so that tempo win. The cars, when they go side by side, I are a little slower than if they foul.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost insane, honestly, at some places how much lap time you can lose just by battling with others. Here, Adam, we're probably going to see guys lose almost, maybe I'd say if they're side by side for a lap, almost 0.3 to half a second per lap on guys around them. So, that's why it's very key around these places. If you want to pass, you have to do it, when you're most confident and when you feel like you can get around guys really quickly. As you look a little further back, though, we see Adrian Schumacher working his way back up here. Looks like Scott Kalal in the bottom lane, Jonathan Byer. Talk about him a lot tonight. Three of Bobby S and Adrian and JB all on the top side there, as they go 3 wide coming out of turn 2 here. And Adrian squeaks by on the high side. No, JB almost thinking about going 3 wide there.
He was thinking of it, but thought better of it. But he is 3 wide coming out of 4.
Yeah. 3 wide. Oh, gonna be a little tight, a little squirrely there for JB and others to come out of turn 4. Back to 2 wide there for Koala and Bobby S and JB. And it looks like it's through it there. Man, you want to talk about battling up front, man, Adam? We gotta look in the back here. We got just as much battling going on.
As it looks like the 6 up front here has closed a little on Powell.
Yeah, Montgomery, not as close as he once was there, Adam. We saw him trying to do in that cut lane, hitting the bottom lane. You wonder if that's burning up his stuff. As we look a little further back here, we got Scotty Reinshell just kind of out in no man's land there with Adrian Schumacher working his way back up front. Here we got, I believe that Druid and Kalal once again staying side by side. Man, just back here, Adam, just nothing but good battles and hard racing. They don't want to take it easy
back here at the back. They're wanting to try to get what they can to help their cause for the.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know when the infamous yellow might come out. So these guys are doing all they can to get back up there, try to get a couple spots in case that comes out, or see if they can, in case of the wreck. With all these battles going on, contact sometimes inevitable, and so trying to avoid it as much as they can. Say what though, Adam? One thing that stayed the same all night is Sean Powell out front. Here on lap 80, I believe he's led all 80 laps here tonight.
I think you are correct in that.
He has been really doing a great job, honestly, holding his own up front. It's always tough. I'd say in these short track racing to, it's always easier to follow the guy in front of you. It's always hard to dictate the pace, and Sean Powell's doing a great job of that tonight.
Yeah, and see, like I said, for me, whenever I'm dirt track racing, track circuit, the leader really doesn't try to set a pace. It's just go. You don't have to worry about burning too much up. Because dirt track, you're not running 185 laps.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one thing too, we've been talking about all night, just the tire wear and all that stuff. It's as a leader, it's like you can go early at the start, but the problem is you're gonna burn your stuff up. So but if you go too slow, then you get past. And like we said, we're seeing that guys are struggling to pass all night. So it's really difficult, Adam, to find that happy medium. Where you're pushing hard enough where people can't pass you, but you're saving enough where you're not gonna fall off and really start hurting your own race. As we see, Tyler Justice still trying to make his way up on Powell, and as we look further back, we got Ryan Schild, Max Service, and others just kind of out in no man's land here. Hensley just kind of doing their own thing, running their own race here. Adam just kind of dictating the pace. As we look a little further back, we still got Kowal and Truitt battling, and looks like Truitt's finally gonna get the pass done there on Kowal.
Logan Truitt, he's been working on Scott the last few laps, trying to get area that he could pass. Finally was able to done.
Yeah, use that big banking in 3 and 4, and he got a big run out of there out turn 4, and was able, like we talked about, use that momentum to propel himself up in front of Kalal and let the dirty air kind of mess up Kalal's rhythm and tighten his car up. As we look a little bit further up here, Adam, we talked about Montgomery battling hard with Tyler Justice. All of a sudden, got Gabriel Ellison at his doorstep.
Yeah, Gabriel, I all of a sudden woke up and seen the gap between Gabriel and Dustin Horton quite a bit. Wonder if Dustin might have used up a little bit more of his equipment than what he really wanted to, trying to get up there to the top 3.
Yeah, with these long runs here too, Adam. It's always tough, But when, like we talked about, when you do battle with others, you want to try to limit your laps doing it and try to get the moves done quickly as possible. And if it doesn't work, you kind of sometimes just I like to go. I put my ego aside and just let the guy in front of me go, because I know if I keep battling, it's gonna hurt myself. And as we see there, Ellison got around Montgomery, and so now Ellison slowly working his way up front there, Adam, creeping up into the top 3.
He's up in the top 3. Ellison is now up in the top 3. And as I look behind Dustin, got 2 more drivers that might be looking to try to capitalize on things here. Robertson's starting to set eyes on Dustin for that 4th position.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about 20 laps ago there when Montgomery was with the top 3. You know, I was like, man, you wonder if Robertson's starting to get a little excited and watching these guys battle. And sure enough, here we are, 15, 20 laps later, and Robertson right on the bumper almost of Montgomery. You wonder if he'll try to make a move here, coming with about 96 laps to go here tonight.
And it just kind of almost starts in my head. Did Dustin stop some equipment as he was up there trying to stay with his teammates?
Yeah, he was running that different line to them, Adam. We saw him kind of doing that cutting line in 3 and 4. You wonder if that really played a big factor in burning up his tires, and you wonder if he's really struggling to get maybe when the tires go out there, car gets pretty loose. You wonder if he's really struggling with the corner exit right now.
Looking at
lap here, looks like go ahead, sorry.
Looking at lap times, as I see here on the tower, so everyone can see.
Yeah, looks like as
there's the last lap times.
That's all right. Yeah, but it looks like we got Robertson trying to make his move on Montgomery here, Adam. As he coming out of turn 4, he's gonna slide up. Oh, loose! Oh, good save there, Robertson. Giving the space and cutting him back off, and there we go. And now look at that. Max Service dives it under Montgomery as they come into turn 1 and 2.
I'm aware of Montgomery's losing some here as this goes on here. Looking at lap times, Montgomery ran a 25:37 last time by Service. Robertson down to about the 25:17, 25:13.
Yeah, so yeah, almost 2/10 slower there. Yeah, and as we see here, coming in turn 1 and 2, Montgomery trying his almost pinching there. Max Service down there at the bottom lane as they come up out of turn number 2. 2 cars almost exactly parallel as they enter 3 and 4. Montgomery now getting a little dirty air from Robertson. Might hinder him as they come out of 3 and 4. The 2 of them, Max Service and Montgomery, still side by side as they enter turn 1.
I think what's helping Montgomery there a little bit is to catch a little bit of the draft of the help him pull up off that top side down through the corner.
Yeah. Gain that little bit more momentum as they go through, and luckily for him, Montgomery on that high lane there, the banking really changes up there on the high lane, so that dirty air is not really affecting him in the corner, but the draft, but it's definitely helping him further along down the straightaways. The 2 of them still at him. Side by side here, Max Trevor's a little loose. Hang on to her as the 2 of them. Oh, Montgomery a little snappy there as they enter 3 and 4 once again, side by side.
It's a pretty good battle here we got going for 5th and.
Yeah, absolutely. And Adam, while we were looking at this battle, I just looked at the top left. Ellison got past Justice for P2.
That is true. Ellison now making them up to try to catch up on Powell. As we look at the lap times, Powell and Ellison are running 24s, while Powell just ran a 25, as Ellison ran a 24.80. 20 tenths of a second difference. Powell and Ellison, favor of Ellison. Capitalize on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Really quick, if you want to go back to the Max Service battle between Montgomery, it looks like Max almost about to make the pass here. Coming out turn 4, he's going to slide up. He's going to do it. Max Service up a spot here. Top 5 now over Montgomery. And so, hey, we talked about, burning this stuff up. Montgomery started to fall back. And now we saw, Tyler Justice starting to slide back a little bit too. And while that was all going on up front, look a little further back here at Jonathan Byer and Scott Kalal running P11, P12. Seth Berger there in I believe that's 13. A lot of these guys, you wonder Adam, if these guys are maybe, be in the back here, maybe they're gonna run along here on the pit cycles when they come up. You wonder if some guys are gonna try to stay out and run a couple laps longer, and maybe they're trying to stay with their stuff so they got better lap times during that cycle.
Talking about pit cycles, we have Tyler Jester and Brandon Burkhart down on pit road currently getting service.
It's a big snap there. Claw, good save there as Seth Berger and them looks by, and so Tyler Justice, right? We talked about him getting passed by Ellison there, and he thought it. Sometimes in this oval racing, Adam, when you get passed by someone behind, sometimes it's almost like a good incentive to pit. Like, all right, starting to lose my grip. Let's go get 4 fresh goodies real quick and get back to her.
The biggest thing to be careful of, though, and I've seen it happen, is guys that pit early, unfortunately fall victim to caution as they end up going a lap down because they weren't able to.
Yeah, and as speaking of that right now, Tyler Justice, Brandon Burkhart registered as a lap down, so 2 of them are going to have to quickly try to get their way back past Sean Powell for the lead lap so they can, in case of caution, be safe, rather.
Battle here for 3rd position. David Robertson and Max Service 3rd and 4th, respectively, as they battle down into turn 3.
Yeah, we just saw Max get around Montgomery, and now he's looking to get past Robertson. Max, it looks like he's about the only driver out here, Adam, really ripping that bottom lane while a lot of guys started migrating to the top. You wonder if Max has found something he likes down there at the bottom lane. Ooh, a little almost contact there between the 2 of them. Still clean as they exit turn 2.
Oh, going back to tire wear and stuff, does you burn more tire going to the bottom, or do you burn more staying to that middle of the high line?
Usually, in these oval races, Adam, it's usually the high lane burns up more because you're just more on throttle time. But Iowa's one of those interesting tracks where it's really I would say the tire wear is almost even everywhere, maybe a little bit better on the high line, but it's really about, like we said, driver throttle and driver brake. If you're really easy on the throttle, coming in and out of corners, and you'll probably save a lot more rear tire compared to others. And if you really find areas where you can use the bumps to your advantage, you can really get the car to rotate, and you might be able to save some right front tire, which is really infamously usually burned here in the Segro series. One of the hardest tires to save is the right front tire because turning input and all that stuff. As we look a little further back though, Adam, we got Ryan Scheld just beyond Montgomery. You wonder if he's trying to make a move on Montgomery here in the coming laps. And as I was looking down at the results thing, Adam, I think we might have a battle for the lead coming up here soon. Sean Powell, yep, there it is. Gabriel Ellison caught his way up to Sean Powell, and look at he's trying to find a way. Our leader of 107 laps here might be endangered here tonight, Adam.
He very well could be. He could definitely up there and start battling. Sean Powell better be watching that rear view mirror as he's got company coming out of turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Ellison almost pushing him out of the corner there as they come down the front stretch. You wonder if Ellison's going to have to try to figure out a line that works for him, try to make his move as they enter coming out of turn 2. It looks like Ellison's looking low at him, trying to get his nose under there. Not quite yet as they enter turn 3. Man, look at the mirror driving from Powell though as they're coming through here. Great defense as we complete lap 108 there.
I know lap 109 out of it, 185.
And Sean Powell a little loose there as Ellison dives to the bottom lane. Side by side there, Adam, as they enter turn 3 and 4. Let's see if Ellison can get the power down, get the run off the corner.
Looks like he's going to.
Slides up. Yep, turn 4. Looks like Ellison's going to be the net leader, and Powell dives back to the bottom lane as they enter turn 1. Powell trying to get that bottom lane of the hook. Look at Ellison trying to use that high line to get the momentum as he comes out of the corner. Looks like he's going to be slightly clear. Oh, well, it looks like Powell's going to dive it back down low at him as they come through 3 and 4.
Coming through where Powell was out front. Now he got falling back to second as Ellison's onto that.
New leader here at the virtual Iowa Speedway, Gabriel Elson, taking the points after 109 laps led by the one machine. Let's look a little further back at him. Looks like guys, single file. You wonder if guys are going to get ready for pit road here shortly.
I know a lot of have Tyler Justice pitted at lap 98. We have Brandon Burkhart pitted at lap 98, and Jim Harris at lap 102. So you're definitely within the pit window here. Curious to know how long the lead will hold out. How long is Gabriel Allison going to hold out before pit road?
Yeah, and you wonder too, Adam. We had that stage at lap 50, restart about lap 55 area. You wonder if fuel strategy is coming to involve here. I'm not sure the exact fuel number on these drivers tonight, but I think it's something like 72 laps maybe. So you wonder if Ellison and the others are trying to make it a one-stop race. Go from 55 to go to lap 120-ish area and try to save a couple laps maybe to get all the way to the end.
It's going to be interesting how close they bring it on, as you were saying, as I'm not sure what the fuel strategy is right now.
Yeah, neither am I. Like I said, I think it's 70 something is the number. I'm not exactly sure. So, I wonder if the numbers are going to be pretty close though. If Tyler Justice and Brandon Burkhart and Jim Harris kind of pitted early, you wonder if the numbers a little closer than some drivers would like, and you wonder if that maybe faulted them to pit early and try to maybe do a two-stop race, or even if they pit early and maybe hope for a yellow, as we see Max Service get a little loose there at turn 2 as he come down the backstretch. Adam, as we get longer here into this, probably the longest run so far of this race, I mean, as we saw Max Service get loose out there, these tires, man, they are beat. They are gone. These drivers are going to be begging for 4 fresh Goodyears as soon as they can get them. As you see, Montgomery still, holding off that 5th position, and a lot of these guys single filed out.
Burger down pit road.
That's Berger, yes. That's Berger entering pit lane here on lap 117 of 185.
Is it possible that some of these drivers could what they call short pit?
Yeah. I think we'll probably see it here. With Tyler Justice coming in early, I bet you he's probably gonna have a pretty big lead here, coming out of whenever Ellison and the others pit, and that might be even though Ellison on fresh tires, if a caution comes out here, Adam, this move by Tyler Justice might pay off pretty well. The Ellison still holding about a second and a half lead there over Powell. And actually, if you look at Nelson's mirror there, we see Tyler Justice starting to work his way up. And as we look further back here, we see Montgomery, Reinschel, and others just kind of holding their own here, Adam. Single file as we got the 18 machine there of Jim Harris on those freshies going by Hensley. Adam, this might be here on lap 120. It might be a good time to go back through the field here if we want to start from the leader and kind of work our way through and just kind of update people in the race. So currently we got Gabriel Ellison leading. Took the lead back, I think it was around 110, probably about 10 laps out in front here. Started P16, Adam. Worked his way all the way up front here, P1. Right behind him, if we look just a little further back, we got Sean Powell, who's been the dominant car all night. Sitting, just behind Ellison there in the P2 position. And I believe, before we continue, Adam, we got the leaders pitting in right now.
Yeah, we got Gabriel's pitting. Dustin Montgomery's pitting in. Nathan De La Rosa is pitting in. But Paul also on pit road.
Yeah, and as we look here, the third place driver, and we're now P2 driver, Max Service. As we were looking at there, and we'll come back to this run through the field here, Adam, in a second once we get these pit cycles worked out. And as I wonder if it looks like we got Powell entering pit road right now, Adam.
I wonder if Powell was coming saw Gabriel coming to pit road. I was wondering if Sean was going to come.
Yeah, you know, if he gets that 1 lap fresher tires, you know, it doesn't sound like a lot, but Adam, 1 lap can go a big way here on these short tracks and all these fresh tires. Looks like we got Max Service and others all coming down pit road. You wonder if they're in the fuel window here, Adam.
I am wondering that. I wonder if they're hitting that. And with this plate, with the run here, I wonder if they can make the rest of the way. Since they didn't, a lot of these drivers, their last pit stop was on lap 50, during that age caution. We're now on lap 124, so I think we can go the rest of the way on fuel. Can we go the rest of the way on tires?
Yeah. We will have to see, you know, that tire fall off. Going to be really significant, especially when we get later to the race here. And, you know, we saw, what was it, Tyler Justice and a couple others pit early. You wonder if those guys are going to reign supreme out front here for a little bit.
Tyler Justice pitted at lap 98. Fuel calculations are right. He should be okay as well. I'm unsure. But I have enough in the tank. And the other thing comes down is he's on that much older tires.
Yeah, so he's almost a sit duck for a while as the rest of the fresh Goodyear runners kind of work their way up there. As we see a lot of pit cycle guys starting to work out here, Adam. Looks like almost everybody's in here. Looks like Truitt is still out there, I believe. So is Hensley and Jonathan Byer. Jonathan Byer pitting right now. JB coming to pit road. As we catch up with Truitt here.
And the one other driver that pitted when Tyler Justice did was the number 8, Brandon Burkhart.
Yeah.
And he's a little further back in the field.
It looks like Hensley and Blake and Truitt are going to be entering pit road here, Adam.
What's that?
Yep, those two. I said those two entering pit road. So I believe now all the runners have entered pit road. So we should see Tyler Justice, if we can go to him real quick, file out to the race leader here in a sec. Yep, there it is.
He'll file out to the leader. Gabriel Ellison's going to come out as 2. That's Burton's going to be your
the gap though there. Adam, looks like, what is it, about 9 seconds almost between Justice and Ellison?
Almost 9 seconds, yes. But I'm thinking Ellison has a little bit of an edge, being on almost on 20 lap newer tires, about 23 lap newer tires.
Yeah. If Ellison and Powell and the others can work their way through the traffic here and see if they can get back up there to Justice as he enters turn 4 a little further back here. Looks like what we got here. Got Tyler Justice there. We got Jonathan Byer and the others. And Ellison, the guys, just, you know, Ellison working his way around JB here.
Ellison trying to work through the lap traffic per se, back up to put himself in position for after the lead. Now gained some time on. He's now only about 6.5 seconds behind Justin.
Yeah, so that time game being really significant here. You wonder if Justice, the leader, is going for that 2-stop strategy like we were talking about earlier. You know, pitting, what was it, around 90 something, Adam, that he pitted on?
98. Lap 98 is when Justin pitted.
Yeah. And you know, that's about, like you said, about 20 laps later than others. You wonder if we're going to see him dive into pit road here pretty soon, maybe around 140, 150 mark.
I'm not sure. I'm going to be curious to see how Justice will take this. Because no, under green flag conditions, going a lap down, coming to pit road.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting when all these other drivers have made stops. But can Justice make it the rest of the way and hold everybody off? It's going to be interesting to see. I just don't think he's going to have enough tires to hold off Ellis.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one. If you want, Adam, you know, I know we kind of skipped it earlier, but we can come back to that full race report and kind of just go through the field real quick. Starting with yours truly up here, Tyler Justice. like I said, pitted on lap 90 something. Started P6 up to P1 currently. Haven't been dominant. All season long really, and like I said, last week's winner. Trying to get another one. As we look a little further back here, about 4 seconds back, we got Gabriel Ellison. Started P16, worked it all the way up front here, and took the lead on lap 110. And after these pit cycles, trying to regain that top spot. As we look just behind him here, we got Sean Powell, who's been the dominant man all night at him. I mean, from the green flag rip, he has been up front, but all of a sudden, about 110, we saw Gabriel Ellison kind of almost come out of nowhere. And here, take the race lead from him. He'll be eager to get back up front. As we look further back, we got Seth Berger here, Take Racing squad. Sitting about 7 seconds behind the leader, running P4, started P5, so been sitting around the top 5 all day for Seth Berger. Look behind him, we got David Robertson. Trying to look his way on Seth Berger there. Starting P15 today, for David Robertson, so great running for him as he tails behind Seth Berger there for the P4 position. And then just beyond them, we have the other Take Racing teammate, Max Surface, who we've, talked about him a lot tonight. Adam, we saw him early kind of drop back, then work his way all the way back up front, and here he is kind of riding that P6 position. Trying to see if he can crack out a top 5 here tonight. And then we have the road course man, Adam. H. Schumacher, we saw him earlier, have that mistake there on pit road, and worked his way all the way back to P7 here. We got, Justin Montgomery there, speaking of him, the dominant car, now taking P7 over Adrian Schumacher there. But yeah, some dominant guys. Looking further back, P9 here, Scott Koa, or actually we'll go quickly to Justin Montgomery. Montgomery, Adam, like we said, a dominant guy. We saw him work his way up front early, and then he kind of burned up his stuff and kind of fell off. So you wonder if he'll be working back. And actually, real quick, Adam, we see Tyler Justice dropping in pit road, so he's going to do that 2-stop strategy. Take note of that, and we'll have to see how that plays out. But real quickly, we got Scott Kowal here in P9. Started P11, been hanging around top 10 all day. Got a couple stage points earlier, been having a very solid race for Scott Kowal. Kind of riding Sheldon 99, sitting P10, started P10, so sitting right where he started here, 139 laps later. Let's look a little further back here. We got Nathan De La Rosa, just trying to work his way up to Ryan Shield and started P17, so good day for De La Rosa. See if he can crack a top 10 here, be on the end of things. And right behind him, we have Blake Hensley. We saw him finish P6 in the stage. Currently a little farther back than he'd like, P11, but still a lot of race left at him. A lot of things can happen. Maybe we can get right back up there. And just behind Hensley there, we got Logan Pruitt, who been a solid car. All day. We saw him spin early, and then kind of regain his spot again. I think he maybe got a stage point or two. I can't really remember, but he's still back here, just outside the top 10. We're gonna see if he can get his way back up there and get into the scoring position. And P13, Adam, P13. We got Paul Bliss behind him now. Paul Bliss, we saw him earlier make a little contact with Vincent Cortez. Hopefully, unfortunately, the damage probably affected his race a little bit, but he even said so. Still on the lead lap, still a lot of race left. Anything can happen out here. Still sitting at P13 position. Then, of course, we got the main man, Jonathan Byler, sitting P14. Started up front early tonight, but sadly, worked his way back. But hey, still on the lead lap, still a lot of race left. Anything can happen. Behind him, we got Vincent Cortez currently sitting on a lucky dog. So, got that damage earlier, as we talked about. One of the Take Race teammate, as he's got Seth Berger, his other teammate, inside there. But Vincent Cortez hoping for that lucky dog. And then just behind him, we got Bobby Anderson, who we cracked the top 10 earlier. And unfortunately got a lap down here, but a lot of race left, so anything can happen. And just behind him, Adam, we just talked about a little bit ago, Tyler Justice. Doing that 2-stop strategy. Currently 1 lap down, got a lot of ways to get back here. But I wonder if he's banking on guys not making it. Then right behind him, we got the other guy pitted early, Jim L. Harris. On that same thing, and Schumacher came in early. Oh wow, when we were talking about it. And to round out the top all 19 cars here tonight, Adam, we got the Brandon Burkhart. Currently 2 laps down, a lot of race left. Holding down P19. And that was our run through the field here, with now sitting 41 to go here, Adam, as Ellison's starting to get a pretty good gap here on Powell.
Ellison looks getting a great run here. Race. over top of Sean Powell. I don't know if Sean Powell going to save too much. Try to work a little bit more aggressive to get up there to Sean Powell or up to Ellison.
Yeah, you wonder if Powell saw Ellison earlier, like when Ellison caught him. You wonder if Powell was like, maybe, my turn to buy my time and try to get Ellison later in the run when the tires start falling off. Maybe he's trying to save some in the tank. What's interesting to note too, Adam, is I see Ellison there on the bottom line and Powell right behind him, kind of running a different line. We'll see Ellison diving into turn 1 and 2, and we see Powell running almost the high side all the way up there, 3 and 4. So you wonder if those different lines are going to come in effect here later in the race.
It's going to be interesting as I haven't really how much of a jump on cutting down that gap between.
Yeah. Like we said here, also comes the factor of the fuel number. As we look a little further back, we got Seth Berger under attack from Montgomery and others. Coming out of turn 4, this battle looking pretty dicey here, Adam. This might get pretty interesting coming here in the last 37 laps.
As Dustin Montgomery is looking to try to find a way around the driver in front of them.
Looks like the 8 car of Brandon Burkhardt there on those new tires, trying to slip his way by both Berger and Montgomery. It looks like, got Tyler Justice also on those fresh tires, trying to work his way up right behind Burkhardt there.
I'm wondering though, for some drivers like, hold up there, Justin. I'm wondering though, for some drivers, is it a little too late?
Yeah, 36 to go. Justice and others that pitted early, they're still a lap down, and we see Ellison already entered turn 1, and all the way back there is Justice. Coming out of turn 4, still almost a straightaway at him to catch the leaders, let alone catch the leaders and then come all the way back around. You know what I'm saying? So I think Justice is really banking on the field strategy situation. That I don't know if my calculations are right. I have a couple sim racing app things here, Adam, and looking at things, and I'm on Gabriel Ellison. It says to me that he has 33 laps to go in the tank. And I don't know if that's right, but if it is, that means he's on the number. So this might get really dicey.
I would say if he on a number like that, he might be just under. From what you're saying, how come this 30 go?
Yeah. So it says right now on my thing, it says he's got 32 and a half left. And like I said, I don't know if that's exactly correct. We'll have to see once we get there. But if it is the case, we might see guys start sputtering. Adam, we might see guys not make it, and all of a sudden, Tyler Justice and others that pitted early might prevail.
You're saying the ones that could thought they would be max service.
Yeah. Like him. I wonder let me see if I click on him. I wonder if it'll change my fuel numbers. I don't think it will, but I wonder if he may be one of those guys that since he's back here a little bit farther, right? He's been saving maybe a little bit more than Ellison and Powell that have been battling and running pretty hard up front. And you wonder if these guys are a little bit farther back, or if they're trying to save their stuff, and save the fuel.
I wonder if that's what Powell's doing, because losing ground to Ellison as taking their laps around Iowa here.
Yeah, we see that gap starting to expand between Ellison and Powell. Yeah, exactly right. You wonder if the fuel number's a little closer than Powell would like, and you wonder if he's trying to, back her off a little bit early in the corners, trying to do everything he can to save a little bit extra fuel every lap, just to allow him to go around a couple more times. As we look through the field here, though, Adam, looks like everybody's pretty strung out. We saw, looks like Montgomery got past Seth Berger there eventually. I'm not sure what lap that is, but I'm gonna put that Montgomery top 5 there. And as we see service here, just kind of riding around on the front stretch, we see a lot of guys just kind of all in their own world almost, Adam. Multiple car lines between each car, and everybody's kind of running their own race.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if any battles going on the track right now. I'm just not. Closest I have, I think, possibly Montgomery Berger. I could be wrong on that.
No, I believe you're right. Maybe, check back on Kalal and Truett up back there. They might be, I don't know if those two are battling or not back there. It looks like they're pretty close. Oh, it looks like there's actually, if you go up a little further there, there's a 3-car pack there up in front there. I'm not sure. Yeah, Ryan Shell, Vincent Cortez. Okay, yep. It looks like Hensley and it's Cortez there, a lap down, like we talked about earlier. But you wonder if Hensley's starting to catch Ryan Shell a little bit. Looks like that gap's a little bit closing. We look up here, it looks like Powell, Burkhart on the alternate strategy, 2 laps down there, is going to get around Powell there on the bottom lane. As we coming across to 26 to go here, Adam, and Ellison up to almost over a 3-second gap on Powell.
And that's what I'm wondering, if Powell is full, or he can make that as he knows Gabrielle is possibly cutting it very close.
Yeah, like we talked about, I'm not sure the exact number on fuel wise, but I know it's got to be really close for a lot of these drivers, and we'll have to see if any guys coming to the end here have to dive in early, or maybe are even sputtering down the back stretch or the front stretch on the final lap here.
It's going to get exciting here as we start to get under 25 laps to go here in Iowa.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we got Max Service and Robertson, and a lot of these guys, and have been hanging around the top 5 all day. Is actually, speaking of one of those guys early, right behind Seth Berger there, Adrian Schumacher. We saw him, getting things earlier there, but he, running that alternate strategy. He was one of those guys, Adam, that kind of pitted with the rest around 110, 120 mark, but came in early later. You wonder if he saw the fuel numbers and just wasn't happy with them, and he came in early to try to make up some ground.
I'm not sure why Adrian a second time there, as I am showing him pitting at lap 141. Interesting to see how this last 20 laps. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. So we look up front a little bit now. Looks like the Powell and Ellison gap up to 4 seconds now, Adam. So Ellison really starting to put some distance here on Sean Powell.
I'm getting a little worried about that. Much distance or up more full.
Yeah, and we also talked about too the tire strategy. You wonder if Powell's really letting it easy, and with about 20 laps to go here, if he's really gonna start making some hay. But it's really interesting. Different strategies. A lot of at stake here with the almost 20 laps to go here at Iowa.
I am beginning to wonder though with Sean Powell, if he's definitely going. He's just laying back, almost playing cat and mouse at the moment. Letting Ellison out front. He'll come back later with a stronger run. Knows he's got the fuel to make front.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll have to see here, coming just under 20 laps to go as we catch up here with Seth Berger's. Montgomery got past Berger there, Adam, but he's kind of hanging around, just sitting in the rear view, not doing too much. Kind of sticking there, hitting the bottom lane now. So look further in front here, the gap still gaining between Ellison and Powell up to 4.8 seconds now.
I'm beginning to wonder if get till 10 laps to go, if that's when Powell will start on the Jets kind of work his way up through some of the lap traffic to get to Ellison. Almost puts him 5 seconds behind.
Yeah, you wonder if I don't know too. If fuel strategy wise, if Ellison or Powell maybe underfueled a little bit to see if he can get a little quicker. On the having less fuel in the tank. And one thing to note though, Adam, is I'm looking behind Powell here, and Max Service is creeping his way up to him. Only the gap was about 3 seconds, now just under a second here, as we come with 17 laps to go. As we see Max slowly work his way up there. Gap's definitely starting to get a little closer here as the two of them exit turn 4. You know, if we move up to Powell here, look at all the traffic up there in front of Powell here, Adam, just kind of clogging the way, and this is going to allow Max to really get up there.
I'm looking for Max to make a statement here at the end of this. They did 2 laps after Gabriel Ellis and 1 lap after Sean Powell. I'm thinking that he knows he's pretty well in the good on fuel to make it to the end.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look further back here, we got Tyler Justice and Robertson and others. Let's see, Justice on that alternate strategy. Definitely going to need a yellow for him, or a lot of cars to lose grip. As we look up here, up to the front here, got Max Service getting really close here to Powell.
And Max Service is really killing them. As we're get down here with 14 laps to go this race, Max Service is getting up there to the back bumper of Powell this time high. If he can make the pass quick on trying to get up to our leader of Gabriel.
Yeah, Max trying to find where he's been dominant on that bottom lane. We wonder if we'll see him diving in here in 3 and 4. Oh, little squirrely coming out there of 1 and 2. These drivers giving it all, pushing the tires to the limit, pushing the cars to the limits here, Adam. As into 3 and 4, looks like Max is trying to peek a nose under there coming down turn 4.
Max is definitely trying to get that bottom line to work a little bit, it seems. Knows that Powell is staying up higher. Looks like Powell's now trying to stay along the bottom as well, as he knows Max is coming for him.
Yeah, absolutely he is. We talked about that dirty air can really play a factor, and there we go. Max goes high now, and so does Powell. So little mind games, just trying to little mirror driving out there for Powell, trying to fend off Max for P2. That's 2 entered 1 and 2. Max trying to get the little that clean air just under Powell there as they come up out of the backstretch.
Really looking from this roof cam on Max Service, I really don't think our leader distant at 6 seconds gap. You don't that much over that little. In fact, made the race.
Yeah, absolutely. As though looks like Max is gonna make a move, trying to hold on the bottom. No, got a nose under there. His enter 3 and 4. Oh, Max backing off, trying to get that big run out of 1, 3 and 4 here. I see that can't make a stick just yet with 9, now 8, or no, excuse me, 9 laps to go still. As Max trying to find that clean air. Do you think there's any way he can get around Powell there, Adam? There might be.
Max Service, I think, is ready to try to make that pass, and it's going to be interesting because as these start battling out, they're going to allow Ellison to get further ahead.
No, absolutely. With the gap now almost 6.5 seconds. I mean, here Powell and Service are entering turn 3, and here Ellison's already out of turn 4 by the time they enter turn 3. So big gap. As we go back to this battle, though, looks like Max might have a no. Oh, not quite, not yet here. Doing all he can. Both those cars sideways as they come out of turn 2. And just giving it all they can here.
They're coming down to 5 laps to go here. When Gabrielle comes back around, it'll be 5 laps to go. But these guys giving it all they can here to battle this first and second position. Or, I'm sorry, second and third position.
Yeah, of course. No worries. I know with Ellison out there in front, it's almost, this almost feels like the battle for the lead, with these two going at it. And Ellison here, entering 1 and 2. I mean, man, what a race so far for him. Hopefully, the field number's good, which I believe it should be. But, him being out front, we saw him start all the way back to P16 and worked all his way up to the front and really held his own all the way to the second half of the race here.
Off of turn 4 now as Max Service and Powell are just there.
Yeah. And these two still battling out here. I mean, man, what a battle going on here for the last 10 or so laps. And real quick, I believe if we want to look back real quick, I think Seth got around Montgomery. Just a little side note. So Seth Berger up to P4, and actually he got past Robertson too. Actually, so Seth Berger up to past Robertson and Montgomery. So 4, 5, and 6 for the three of those guys. Now as we go back up front real quick to Max and Powell. I think Max got a nose under Powell here entering 1 and 2. Max service and Powell.
Powell and service. They're battling one.
We got 3 laps to go here. Max trying to do all he can, whatever he's got left of those tires. See if he get good run out of turn 4 here, sideways, hanging on to her though. Yes, he's got her. Still nose under there as they enter 1 and 2. Another big run for Max Service. Coming down turn 2 there. 2 of them side by side as they enter turn 4. Max trying to get that swooping line. Trying to get the car to hook in the bottom lane. Got a good gap. Oh, Powell a little loose. And there goes Service. And I believe, I think Powell's out of fuel.
We're on final lap.
Oh, final lap. Let's go up to Ellison. Sean Powell is fuel. Back up to Ellison.
I think Sean Powell might be out of fuel.
Yep. As they're coming out of turn 4, Gabriel Ellison is going to win here at Iowa Speedway.
Well, in a turn of events, it looks like Seth Berger is going to come in third as Sean Powell is dropping back through the field. I think he's out of gas.
No. My God. You know, we thought Ellison was the guy going to run out of fuel, and it turns out Sean Powell is the guy that's not going to make it on fuel. Oh, man. Finished at P10 there. What a tough break as we head back to the front stretch real quick and watch Ellison burn her down here at Iowa. Man, Adam, what a race from Ellison. Like we said, we saw him work his way from the back up to the front. I mean, what a great dominant second half performance there of the race for Ellison. Man, well, that was, wow, what a turn of events there, Adam.
Yeah, turn of events indeed. Powell had a great run going all night. Led 109 laps and led over half of the laps. Did not able to kind of close the book on tonight.
Yeah. With that, real quick, I don't know if you got the official results. We can go over them real quick before we get these driver interviews going.
I got the results right here. Up to our viewers. Here we go.
Perfecto. All right. And there you have it, folks. As we said, Gabriel Ellison taking it home here almost by nearly 8 seconds over Max Service, who finishes P2 tonight. 2 teammates, Max Service, Seth Berger, second and third, as David Robertson finished up P4. Dustin Montgomery, good, solid top 5 for him tonight, as Scotty Ronshell P6. Logan Truitt, good recovery as he finishes P7. Blake Hensley P8, Scott Claw P9, and Sean Powell, unfortunately, man, what a great race tonight, but just ran out of fuel on the white flag there, finished at P10. As we look further back, we see Nathan De La Rosa P11, Paul Bliss 12th, Jonathan Byer P13, Adrian Schumacher 14th, Tyler Justice with the strategy not working on, unfortunately, P15. Vincent Cortez 16th, Bobby Anderson 17th, Brandon Burkert 18th, and Jim Harris 19th. And as we wrap it up there, Adam, I'm going to go and see if I can go find Gabriel Ellison. Oh, he's already moved up here. And I'm going to move him up to the main. Actually, we'll start with Max Service. Oh, never mind. We moved him. Here, let me grab. There he is, Gabriel Ellison, who is our race winner here tonight. Gabriel, it's me, Reese Schaefer, up in the booth here with Adam. And man, what a finish, man. We saw you starting the back early tonight, and all of a sudden, me and Adam were focused on the race leaders, and we looked up, and about 110 or so, we saw Gabriel Ellison moving his way up to the front. Man, talk about your race tonight and how you were able to kind of string that long run pace together?
Yeah, man, I honestly did not expect to be that fast. Qualifying, I made a mistake and got loose and had to start in the back, and made a little bit of progress in the stage. I think I got up to 8th, and then got a couple guys on pit road, started in 6th, so that definitely helped. But I remember I ran the truck race last night, and the bottom you're able to save a lot of tire down there, and I saw everyone in front of me was driving really hard into the top of 3 and 4 especially, and sometimes 1 and 2 as well. So I just rolled the bottom the whole race, and it was just the superior line for tires, and yeah, that just I just stuck to my plan, and they just backed up into me kind of, and from there it was just executing the pass.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we watched Ryan Johnson last night just roll the bottom, and he absolutely left. Especially me.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
he was flying, and so
for sure.
like I said, just run that bottom lane, and it reigned supreme. I mean, we saw
Partners got Bowler's Mart on the car, and Club Glove as well. Huge thanks to those guys for sponsoring the car, and thanks to everybody at SRN for putting this deal on.
Yeah, before we let you go, Gabriel, I think next week I believe is Chicagoland. Any thoughts on that track? Any prior experiences?
Yeah. Usually I'm pretty good there. I haven't ran the Xfinity car there much. I've run the truck there a bunch. It's a blast, but I think I should be okay. I haven't performed as well on the intermediates in this Xfinity car as I would have liked to, so I'll probably try to get me some good practice laps in. But yeah, I look forward to it. It's a good track.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Gabriel, congrats on the win, man. That was awesome. I mean, we saw, like I said, you just kind of let that bottom lane reign supreme, and you run away with it. So congrats on the win, and we'll see you next week in Chicagoland.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
That was your race winner, Gabriel Ellison. And real quick now, Adam, we're gonna move on to P2, being the beast of himself, Max. Service and Max, buddy. P2 Knights. I think kind of just held in there all race. We saw you early, drop back, kind of come back up, later in the race when you got the tires on you, got a good feel going on for it. Talk about your race tonight, buddy.
Yeah, it kind of took me about 20 laps to find my rhythm a little bit. First run was terrible. Couldn't get off the bottom, couldn't pass cars, and couldn't even get a stage point. And then after that, we had some penalties on pit road, some from our team, and got some spots. Was a little bit more aggressive on the restart after the stage, and made our way forward, and just kind of hung on to it. Ran the bottom all day, saved the tires, and it kind of worked out.
Yeah, we saw you running that bottom lane, kind of like somebody else, and we just talked about him. You were kind of the only two guys really ripping that bottom lane, but going to the end of the race there, Max, we were following you a lot because you and Powell were going neck and neck. But what was it, 10 laps there? Talk to us about that battle, and how surprised were you when he ran out of fuel?
Yeah, I was running up there, probably gaining a 10th lap. I'm like, if I get there, I get there. If I don't, I don't. Didn't really know if he was saving or anything, but and I got to him and got to his inside off of 4. I was chasing the rear end up the track, just trying to stay in the throttle because it's so hard to pass here. And when you get an opportunity to get alongside somebody, you got to take it and make the most of it. But
Yeah.
then I saw him completely just stall out off the corner. I'm like, did I put him in a terrible situation? And I saw him continue to keep slowing. I'm like, no, he's at us. But props to Gabe. We ran the bottom all day. He was better at it,
Yeah.
and he got through the traffic way better than I did, and had tires to be able to do stuff with it. But I think I could have been a little bit closer to him. I think he had me covered, but oh well.
Yeah. Hey, P2 never a bad thing, Max. Before we get you out of here, though, you want to thank anybody? Got any sponsors you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'm accidentally running the Don Wheaton colors tonight. Didn't mean to do that. Forgot to put the normal Burgart's car back on, so I'll make it up to Seth and say, go check him out on Instagram. Go shoot him a message on any social media. He's got basically all of them. If you would like custom clothing, and if you'd like a new Chevrolet, go check out Don Wheaton in Alberta. Yeah, that's about all I have.
Yeah, perfect, Max. Chicagoland next week. Any thoughts?
It's another track I don't really like, but usually when I don't like the track, we run pretty good. So I guess I'll try to do okay there.
Oh,
Maybe we
good. Well,
can pick up another
yeah.
top 5.
Hey, I like that. Top 5. I like that. I like that plan. Solid plan. Solid plan. Max Service, your P2 finisher tonight. Congrats, Max, on the P2. We will see you next week at Chicagoland, buddy.
Thank you, Reese.
That was Max Service there. Now we're gonna move up Seth Berger to the booth. Seth, buddy, P3 tonight. Saw you battle with Montgomery for a while there. Run through that race, buddy. What was going on out there?
It was a great start to the race. I can't believe I had that great of a starting position at this track. I'm pretty bad here, just with the bumps and how the lanes are. Getting fifth on the stage there, I had a little bit of front damage because of the initial start. It was a big stack up. Finished fifth. I was excited about that, and coming around the corner to my pit stall, I just barely went over the speed limit, and to go from 18th to third is definitely awesome still. I don't know how I did it, but it's bittersweet because it's awesome to still finish third after that, but what could have been if it didn't happen?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, me and Adam up here, we actually didn't really even realize that some guys got penalties tonight. We were just, focused on leaders and stuff. What was that during like the one? What pit stop was that around 50? About 50 when you got there under the stage?
Stage 1 under caution.
Yeah, well, yeah. So that was definitely a good bounce back. We saw you, saw later in the race we saw some battles. We saw you get around Montgomery and Robertson there. Was the long run pace pretty solid tonight, or did you kind of find it as you went on?
I think I kind of found my rhythm more after the stage, especially I had about 10 seconds of damage on the front end. I guess it was affecting me a good amount, but I definitely found more of a rhythm being in the back. I was just pacing myself, and then honestly, I got pretty lucky. I got clean air before the last pit stop, and then I had a lot of clean air after the pit stop all the way to the end of the race. Didn't have to pass too many people, so I think I got very lucky with the track position and cars around me for sure.
Yeah, we talked to Max, and he talked about how there's a lot of lap cars in front of him. We saw too, even Sean Powell, man, there was a couple lappers that were just stuck in front of him for about 10 laps there, and it really hindered his race. So that was definitely pretty fortunate for you there. Seth, before we get you out of here, though, is anyone you want to shout out? Anyone to thank? Any sponsors you got on that bad boy?
Definitely shout out to Burgart's. Still in the rebranding phase. I got some cool ideas coming up. Got some new stuff painted. Shout out to Flood Brothers. They're a great Chicagoland disposal company. Definitely check them out. Shout out to Tank Racing. It's awesome racing with them. Just racing with friends, having fun. We're all pretty fast. We don't take it too seriously, but we like to be competitive, still. But also got to shout out Hunter Don, Healthcare Billing, 213 Simware, Invader Zim Designs, RJ Bishop Designs. Shout out to all my teammates. Shout out to you guys for putting on a good show. And shout out to SRN as a whole. It was a little bit of a rough night for respect. I feel like no one wanted to give up any track position, but that was just the nature of this track. But overall, good night. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, Seth. And one more message before we get out of here, though. We got Chicagoland next week. We're talking about the Flood Brothers. Chicagoland and one of your good tracks? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah, yep. It's definitely a great track for me. Last time I was there in the Xfinity Series, I got the win there, played the strategy perfect. So hopefully I could play it perfectly next week and take advantage and get my first win of the season.
Yeah, sounds like a plan, Seth. All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the P3. Take it all day. Nice recovery. And we'll talk to you next week in Chicagoland, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Of course, bro. That was Seth Berger of the number 77 machine, and Adam, that is our top 3. And man, what an interesting race out here tonight, here at Iowa. It was definitely one for the ages, and we saw a lot of fuel strategy, a lot of different strategies go on tonight, and very few cautions. Like we talked about earlier, just the history of Speed Racing Network usually not having too many cautions here in the Z-Girl series. But before we get out of here, Adam, I got some sponsor stuff to thank here. We got tonight for the Victory Lane was brought to you by EPI. The side-by-sides you saw were brought to you by Butt Kicker. Got the starting grid by Adam in the Box. Flex Blinds sponsors the replay booth there, and if I scroll down there, I want that before we get out of here, we're gonna have to shout out some of our social networks here. Got Facebook.com/Speed Racing Network, X.com/SpeedRacingNet, Instagram under Speed Racing Network, YouTube. If you're here, we're at Speed Racing Network. Twitch, SpeedRacing.net, LinkedIn, company, Speed Racing Network. And obviously, of course, if you want to find all the points, any of the drivers, any information about Speed Racing Network, SpeedRacingNetwork.com is your source. And Adam, I don't know if you're still here, buddy, but that was a very, very solid race. And we will, the Z-Grill series, we'll have to definitely shout them out, being a sponsor of the series. And it was definitely a blast here tonight.
Oh, certainly was. Definitely, like you said, we had different fuel strategies. Unfortunately, though, the strategy for Hal didn't quite play out the way hoping. Still, look on the bright side, he's top 10.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we talked about earlier, too. Got those stage points, 10 stage points, led the most laps led. So even though, didn't get the win, still good points night for Powell and others. And, we saw, we talked about Ellison, them. I mean, what a good second half for Ellison and a lot of guys out there. It was really that race really at the halfway through really turned on its head, and turned out to be a really good finish. But to conclude, that'll do it here from Iowa. Thanks for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast me and Adam put on. For all at Speed Racing Network, Adam and I, we're in the booth this evening. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week in the Windy City of Chicagoland.